Welcome to the 24-Hour Woman Show with Cheryl Nugent.
I had a very interesting conversation with a young lady the other day, and she told me with joy in her face that, Cheryl, I am 3 months pregnant and my husband and I are so happy. And I share her joy with her until she told me in the same breath, but I have not told my supervisor nor my team members. And I asked her why. She says, can you imagine, if I want to tell them, boss, I am 3 months pregnant, and my boss' response will probably be, oh my gosh, you're 3 months pregnant. What's going to happen to all the work and all the projects that's on hand that you are handling? And I just don't know how to broach the subject. And then it dawned on me that not just her, but many of us who are still in the corporate setting, we want more freedom, we want more flexibility in the way that we do our work, because there are other things that's happening in our lives, whether it's caring for another individual or pursuing a passion of ours. And I realized that there is a need for us to learn, and I say learn because you can learn to take this awkward conversation with your supervisor and your team members. Let me share with you how it can be done, because I've worked with many individuals around the globe about asking for flexibility, and they have asked for it successfully. The very first thing you need to do is to really sit down and write down, why should your boss be supporting you on going on flexibility? Why should your boss say yes to you looking at a different way of work? And one of the key messages that you need to consistently send across is that you want to continue to be a contributor to the team and to the department's goals. As you write down what's essentially a business plan, right, as to an alternative way of work. What's your business case for saying yes to you going for a different way of work? Write down, what are my deliverables? What are my goals right now? How can I continue to contribute on them even when I have a different way of work? Because that's most important to your supervisor and to your team members. And then think through, are there any other costs that's involved? Are there any benefits? In fact, if there are benefits, make sure you write that down. Whether it's for better customer service, quicker turnaround time, those are things that you can write down and build your business case to a yes. And then write down to what are the various ways of communication. How can you be reached? What are the difference, in the way of work in terms of your work processes? You are enjoying the flexibility and freedom, but you're also looking at someone else having to adjust to a different way of work because you are not in the workplace. So document all that down. Simple enough? Let's move on now to the second thing that you need to consider. Second thing, of course, is you need to convey this to your stakeholders. Who are your stakeholders? Obviously, your supervisor, your boss is one of the stakeholders, but remember also to think about your team members and your customers. Right? Sit your boss down and walk him or her through your business case, your plan. And because with that, you demonstrate two key things. One, that you are committed to your job and that you're committed to continue to be a contributor. The second is that you have thought through the issue and you're coming to him or her with a win-win solution, that you want to find a collaborative and a mutually beneficial solution. Instead of going to your supervisor and saying, boss, I have a problem, you're going there demonstrating you have already thought through and thinking, how you can best be still contributing to the results and the bottom line of the team. Even if he or she were to say no on the first go, find out why. Could be some reason that you didn't know of, and then go and find solutions for that. Basically, it is an opportunity to have a conversation, to work towards something that we would say a pilot. We'll talk a little bit more about that in point number 3. I want to get back to what about the other two stakeholders? What do you say? How do you convey this to them? Well, speak to your team members. Reassure them that you are still reachable, because the last thing they need is that there's an issue and they don't know how to get to you, or they are wondering who's going to take over the workload. Reassure them there's no change in workload. It's just the way that work gets done might be having some adjustments. Let them know how they can contact you, when they can contact you, and what's the workflow like. When are you going to be online, when not, and how work will still get done, that they will not be compromised in terms of their own deliverables. And what about your customers? Well, let them know how they can reach you if they need to, or how they can find solutions. One of my favorite ways is that you do a FAQ, a frequently asked question, that you can distribute to your team members or leave it on a site that people can access, so that you will minimize the need for your customer to have a direct conversation with you and they can't find you. Always be able to return your calls when you say that you are going to be returning the calls. So part of it is about managing the expectation so that you can have that freedom and flexibility. Point number 3 is always offer a point of evaluation. So start with a pilot, because in that pilot we can identify what's working, what's not working, and then you make that switch, tweak that around, because as you pilot it, some things may not work out the way that you plan for it to be, and you're able to adjust that. The second thing is that life happens, right? What you think of right now may work for now, but as you move on, it might need some adjustment, and that's where you evaluate that it's meeting your goals of freedom and flexibility and your team's goals in terms of contribution. So what are you waiting for? If you want more freedom and flexibility at work, go ahead, get your business case done, find a chance to speak to your supervisor and stakeholders, and implement a pilot. Go and do it right now so that you can enjoy the freedom and flexibility.